I'm sorry if I come off a bit too pessimistic in this video. The topic of today's talk is doing something you don't like to do and building a side project and life you would like to live. With the idea that all this may never come to fruition, it is easy to think that when we are striving towards a goal, that we may achieve that goal. We generally think in positive statistical outcomes. We see what we do as something that probably will happen. But especially when things aren't going where you want to, you feel like you tried everything, the thought of failure starts to spawn in your head once in a while. An attempt is good in hindsight when successful. It is easy to have success and be lucky to achieve success and to later on think positively about that process. Maybe because I have a bit of a deterministic mindset and think that if you're lucky, you will obtain what you want, and if you're not lucky, you won't. Achieving what you want sometimes depends on if you had the luck to be born in a specific place, have specific abilities, and to a lot of other circumstances to which we don't have control, even though we may think in hindsight that we actually had control over those circumstances. But a lot of the times stuff just happens and we are lucky to be in the right position at the right moments. And from that, comes an outcome, and that outcome could be your success and what you wanted to achieve. And it's easy to create a narrative looking back on what we did. But I sometimes wonder, all those people that are probably even more numerous than who's able to achieve what they want, what are those people thinking? Like, what is life now? You're motivated to try to create a life that you want and to strive towards your personal goals and what you think you should be doing, especially if you're stuck in a career or in a job path that doesn't seem right to you and doesn't fit what you think you should be doing. But sometimes, it's hard to maintain that motivation and drive when you've been at it for quite a long time and you start to think that maybe you don't have what it takes. You don't have the skills, you are not in the right moment at the right time, and maybe that will never happen. As I said, I know I'm painting a very pessimistic picture, but that's just how I'm feeling this evening. One could say that if you feel this way, it's probably better because it means that you're moving towards something that's more true to yourself. And when you reach your goal, you'll be happier than those that don't actually have that internal drive and feeling to change things. But sometimes I wish I didn't feel so different and distant from what other people are doing, and that I would just have normal goals and to be able to do what most people do and just be happy with it, be content in living a quotes normal life. But obviously it is sometimes nice to think that you may be wrong and actually the light at the end of the tunnel is better than at the start. But the worst moment is when you start to doubt the process. You start to think that maybe there isn't nothing at the end of the tunnel, that maybe what you're experiencing is life and it will be that way forever. Like maybe there isn't the thing that will change how you feel. Maybe there isn't a better condition, a better job for you, a better life that you could be living. You feel different, but you don't have the capacity and the skills to actually make a change and to create a rupture in your current life that will enable you to go to the other side and start living again and start to be yourself and actually feeling like what you're doing is what you're supposed to do. In the meantime, just pretend to be like everyone else, smile at people, make them think that you're thinking what they're thinking and that you're in the same boat with them. And maybe when someone else that thinks like you comes around, you let them know your plans and maybe the process will be less lonely. You're surrounded by averages. Like statistically speaking, most people will do what most people are doing. So it's natural to feel discomfort and to feel sometimes hopeless when you don't match that average. But I sometimes feel that I'm not that much distant from that average to actually have the capacity and the capabilities to make that extra step and to be able to end where I want to be. Maybe there is something wrong with this type of thinking. The idea of having objectives and doing what you're supposed to be doing and so on. Maybe you're just borrowing what's the normal and general point of view, and that's what burns you out. Even if you don't see it, you're still following the tribe's way of thinking, even if you think that you're actually moving sideways, but you're still in the same place as everyone else, and that's why it feels hard to move away or impossible. Maybe because what you're asking yourself is not the right question. Maybe this video made sense, maybe it didn't. As always, let me know what you think in the comments and see you in the next one.